Welcome back. It's been 45 years since Soweto students rose up against the use of Afrikaans as a medium of instruction. Their demands reflected a wider call for equality and freedom. Political equality may have been achieved, but do young people in South Africa have economic equality? As we mark Youth Month and commemorate June 16th, we are joined by eNCA reporter Mawande Kheswa, who is talking to young people in Durban about how they are trying to better their own lives. He joins me now live. Mawande, last week we heard about the unemployment rate and how the youth marks a huge part of that statistic. What are people saying to you there in Durban, particularly young people? Are they despondent or excited about the future?
Well, you've got two sides as far as that story is concerned. You've got those really who are bearing the brunt of all the things that are going wrong with the country. We're looking at the unemployment rate. We're looking at issues around when you do have a business and you want to get funding, how difficult or easy is it to get into that space? You've also got young people who've taken the bull by the horns and pulled off all the stops, really, to try and get their foot in the door of entrepreneurship and ensuring that they're able to survive and sustain their businesses. One of that business is Ifuto Paper. Mbali Ngcobo, who runs the business, is playing in a sector where women aren't really given those opportunities to be in that sector, particularly black women, but she's been able to be sustainable within that field. Mbali, we thank you for your time. What has the journey been like for you being in the space?
My journey has been difficult, I'm not going to lie, especially last year, 2020, during the COVID-19. I mean, it was so unpredictable, no one saw it coming, so it was really difficult, I'm not going to lie. And keeping the business sustained was one of the difficult thing that I had to come across with. I mean, I'm a small business, cash flow is very tight. So it's private sectors, big private sectors who believed in small businesses like mine who actually kept me through.
And when you look at your peers around you and what's happening in the country, what is your take really, looking at how many young people are despondent as a result of what's happening around them and you being in the space where you've been able to somewhat thrive?
I would say it's lack of knowledge, discouragement and pressure that comes with it. And of course the system of our education. If entrepreneurship is taught in early stages as schools, and then it wouldn't be like so hard if you come out of school, then now you have to face this new thing that you have never came across with before. So maybe we have to look at how our education system is structured. I mean, we're still having a problem of having access to education, let alone the quality of the education. And teaching entrepreneurship at early stages like high school level and having to put practicals with that. So I think it's more coming from lack of knowledge, not knowing how to, and the difficulties of getting funding really, because these institutions, they may make it sound easy to get the funding, but when you actually face to face with it, you actually see that the red tapes that comes with it, it's not as easy as they make it sound. Maybe I have to look at that as well.
While you are thriving in this sector, you have your own challenges. What are some of the challenges that you're still facing today running this business?
Market penetration. It has been my biggest challenge and my biggest success as well, because when I started this business, I guess in my head I thought it will be well received. I guess that's one of the things that maybe I researched wrong, and I had to go back to the drawing board, use other tools to penetrate the market, and now I can see that the business is slowly being received, and I would not put myself in and say it's quite there where I want to, but I'm working each day to get to where I want to be.
SMMEs play a huge role in the country as far as employment is concerned, the contribution to GDP and so forth. We were speaking, you have said that as far as the people that are supporting your business, the bulk of them are SMMEs themselves. Does this point to the importance and need for more support? Because when you look at the ecosystem, really, it's SMMEs helping one another.
Yes, they have played a paramount importance in keeping me sustained. I mean, most of my clients are SMEs. Hence, I started by saying, look at the education structure, because I think we should be taught to run businesses, not to they're to be taught to work for someone else. And I think our education system is shaped that way. And then after you're done with school, you are encouraged to start a business with what knowledge, really? So basically, I would encourage that it should be looked from that structure, so that, the youth is basically looking into the eye of starting their own businesses and creating more employment, and us creating business-to-business kind of relationships to help one another as businesses.
Thank you very much there for your time. We have been speaking to Mbali Ngcobo, who runs her own business that processes paper from the manufacturing point of view, as well as getting it to the end consumer.